This is The Hub on Hollywood, an iHeartRadio podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
I'm the other co-host, Jamie Blanco.
On this week's episode, a non-spoiler review of a new Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd movie called Death of a Unicorn.
I was very surprised by this one. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about.
Absolutely. And just the name alone is so enticing and intriguing. New trailers are out for Happy Gilmore 2 and Lilo and Stitch. I have very strong opinions about this. I think one looks fantastic and another one does not look so great.
Yeah. We'll fight about it.
We'll go into it. Sydney Sweeney going into a new movie with a Massachusetts connection. We're also going to be going back to the Land of the Dead in another Disney sequel. That and much more. But Jamie, let me first ask you really quick. You watched the Oscars? Did you watch a bit of the Oscars?
I did.
At
yes.
least the monologue?
Oh, I watched the Oscars. It was great.
Yeah. Well, speaking about great, Conan O'Brien did a fantastically great job. I was not surprised at all. I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
It was like an 18-minute monologue after like this awesome open when I guess he was like, if you haven't seen the Demi Moore movie, The Substance.
No, I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
Yeah, Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and so Conan recreated that scene of him crawling out of Demi Moore's back. Yeah. And just like that was a great opener for Conan. And he did so great at the Oscars that they've already announced that he will be returning next year as next year's host. That's good. Brookline native here in Massachusetts, boy. Could not be happier for him.
I know that you and I have always been Team Coco.
Oh, yeah.
Team Coco all the way. He's not on television anymore, right? But he has a podcast.
He has a podcast.
Oh, everybody has a podcast.
Yeah,
we
but
have
he
a
has
podcast.
a great podcast.
Yes, it's really, really great. I saw an interview he did with Harrison Ford
the
other day. It was just... Right. I was just on the floor laughing. It was hilarious. And, Harrison making fun of him like, why aren't you on... I can't imagine why you're not on TV anymore. But I miss him. I miss his brand of humor, which maybe is not like mainstream, but he definitely knocked it out of the park at the Oscars. My favorite was when he beat the dead horse that is the whole... the rappers.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
and Drake.
Kendrick and Drake, and taking that shot at Drake. Like this is the part.
We're about halfway through the Oscars, which means it's about time for Kendrick to call Drake a pedophile.
Right, and he's like, "I'm lawyered up, guys."
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, again, he did so well, and I was not surprised because watching him go out there on stage, he just felt so natural. Of course, like he is in his element on the stage in front of America, and so that was great to see him. If you want to watch his latest podcast episode, maybe an episode or two ago, but he actually brought on the writers that he's worked with for decades on the late night show, and there a lot of them helped him prepare for the Oscars, and so they on the podcast talked about the process, like pretty much like 2 or 3 months before the show, the Oscars aired, he was given the call, asked if he wanted to do it. And at first, he was like, oh, yeah, great. And he starts talking to a writer, like he first calls a writer. And then as he says, oh, yeah, they want me to host the Oscars, the guy just starts busting up laughing. Like, oh, my God, this is insane. But they were able to make it in like 2 months' time, work with his writers, create a beautifully hilarious monologue and sprinkled in jokes throughout the night. But so happy to see and hear that Conan's getting the recognition he deserves.
That's right.
Again, he got the Mark Twain Award recently, and so very happy for him.
Very happy for him, and also he's someone who's always taking care of his own people.
Oh yeah.
Through strikes, through thick and thin, through him getting hired and fired. So just good boy, local boy, Team Coco. All the way.
Team Coco all the way. Let's talk about this new show that's coming all the way over here to Massachusetts. It's called Widow's Bay, which is going to be not only filming here in the Commonwealth, but also in Maine.
Yeah, which is really exciting because we don't hear a lot of movies getting shot up there.
No.
But in general, it has been rough out there. It has been slow in Hollywood East. There haven't been as many projects. So it's always exciting to see something new coming. Lots of creatives, actors, producers, PAs, everyone that works on a movie, the hundreds, if not thousands of people, we're waiting. We're waiting. We're ready to go. So this is going to be called Widow's Bay. Matthew Rhys, is that how you say Rhys? Is coming. He's going to be starring in this film, and
a new series.
Right, it's in the series. That's right. It's not a movie, which is great too, because that means more episodes,
more action,
more filming, more acting,
money,
more jobs, more money.
Yeah,
takes place on a secluded New England island, shrouded in mystery, plagued by ominous curses, which deeply superstitious residents believe.
Yeah. I feel like, we had that vibe, obviously the Salem, the Stephen King kind of like creepiness, New England. I don't know what period this takes place in, but, we can do any period piece over here. We can do the 1600s.
Absolutely.
The creepy, mysterious, superstitious period to now. So this is a good place to come and film, whether it's a movie or a TV show. So keep your eye out. If you are in the Massachusetts area and Maine area and they are filming near you, Widow's Bay, take some pictures. Tweet us. Blue Sky us, Instagram us, and share that stuff with us. We'll give you guys a shout out. Speaking about shouting out, let's give a shout out to Sydney Sweeney, because she is a powerhouse. As we know that she kind of pulled her weight when she took the role in Madam Web. In order to do that, she agreed with Sony that they would help fund a project that she wanted to make, and that was Anyone But You with Mr. Maverick, Mr.
Handsome.
Mr.
there.
Handsome. What's his name? I know his name. Something with a P? No.
Very, very handsome man.
Yeah.
Mr. Twister.
Mr. Twister. Mr. Twister's. I'm blanking on his name, but what is it? We're using the power of Google right now.
Because, hey, we're both parents.
Yeah. Anyone?
We're tired. Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. Powell. I did say P.
Yeah.
Yeah, start with a P.
Yeah, that's last name.
That's good enough. That's all I need. I refer to him as Powell. Anyway, Sydney Sweeney. She's going to be making a new movie, and this film, however, has a connection to Massachusetts. It's going to be based off a short story written by an English school teacher in Massachusetts. This is going to be made into a movie that Sweeney will star in and produce as well. The story, I guess, was posted on Reddit years ago, and I guess this writer has written different short stories online, and they've gotten popular. But one of his more popular ones is one about a young woman who shows up at a family's doorsteps 10 years after their 18-year-old daughter went missing. Her plan is to convince the family that she is their missing child and stay for one night long enough to steal precious jewelry in that family's home
and things like that.
It sounds like a real life. I would not be surprised if this was like a murder mysteries show or like based on real events.
I feel like I've heard the story in the news.
I've heard this story before too.
But yes, it's definitely creepy. I would say compelling. You could tell that really, really well. I haven't read the short story, but that's exciting. As a fan fiction writer, you put out something that you created online, and then just some random big time actress finds it, likes it, wants to make it into a movie. That's pretty cool.
So I'm curious because I don't know the story. I've never read it, so I don't know the tone of it. This could easily be a horror story. It could also be a comedy. So it would be interesting to see how Sydney Sweeney takes it. Because I can see her doing both, either completely, just off the wall, chaotic, creepy.
She
scary.
tends to lean towards drama though, and the really dramatic, and
Yeah, she's done a fair amount.
Yeah,
we'll bet on it. I say she'll do funny and silly.
I think drama.
Drama, okay. In no time at all, we'll find out who's right and who's wrong.
But me.
What?
What do you think?
What do you
guys think? Thank you for tuning into the Hub on Hollywood. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, etc.,
All that
because
jazz.
it helps us to continue to bring you this kind of content, news about movies and TV shows that are filming in New England, amazing interviews like the one you did last week.
Yeah, Shah Jahan Khan. He is a local Massachusetts boy and a man, really. But
yes.
but he's been, making waves So much so recently, especially just appearing in Deli Boys, which is streaming on Hulu, certified fresh. So the last episode of The Hub on Hollywood, check out that interview. It's a one-on-one interview. Great guy to talk to. He was also in Aftermath, one of Netflix's most popular films, I believe last month, and takes place on the Tobin Bridge.
It was filmed here.
So they did a lot of filming like on closed sets, but they did a lot of exterior shots of the Tobin Bridge here, which if you are from or not from the area, it's a very old bridge, very rusty and wickedly torn up bridge. And so he said that they made it look so realistic and so good and fun movie. So check out that interview. Check out a bunch of other episodes we've done here on the Hub on Hollywood. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit subscribe, like, share, comment down below, join the conversation. We're also streaming everywhere you get your podcasts, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. It raises our morale to continue doing this for you, bringing you the latest news. Speaking about the latest news, we have some trailers that came out. One that I was looking forward to much more than another. And those two movies are Lilo and Stitch, the live-action version, and Happy Gilmore 2, also a live-action version.
Yes.
Yeah. You seem,
He's still alive.
You seem, I could be wrong, but you seem to be more excited for Happy Gilmore 2.
I don't know. I just like Adam Sandler.
Don't backpedal. Before we hit record, Jamie was so adamant about this is gonna be the next Citizen Kane.
Oh please!
This is the Godfather
Look,
2.
I said it's not gonna be the best, but it's not gonna be the worst.
I think you said Godfather 2.
I think it looked funny. I thought it brought some of the original energy.
It brought all
Happy
the original
Gilmore.
jokes. It brought all the original jokes.
The original cast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler. I mean, he's pretty much the same character in every movie that
Now
that,
he is.
That he makes. I thought it felt like it had some heart, though, and it was filmed in New England, right? A lot of it was shot in Rhode Island, in Connecticut, and so I'm happy about that.
Yes,
because he is really, really great. Whenever Adam Sandler makes a movie in New England, and he makes many of them, guys, he has hundreds of background. Hundreds.
Oh, great in that sense, yes.
He puts money in people's pockets, and he makes sure that people get overtime. So, okay, maybe the movie is not the best movie that was ever made. But you know
said
what?
Citizen Kane.
But you know what? What even is... I've never even seen Citizen Kane. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. But maybe you'll hate it. Maybe you'll hate it. I just won't... I won't hate it.
Yeah. It's like that step cousin who sometimes comes to family functions. You don't hate them, but you just don't want to be around them kind of a vibe. That's like this movie vibe I'm picking up. But I am much more vibing with the live action adaptation of Lilo and Stitch. I'm sure I've told you that my daughter, she's almost 2, but we just started introducing movies to her, and by movies I mean one movie, and that's Lilo and Stitch, the animated original from 2002. And she loves that movie, and she loves the music. My wife and I love Hawaii, and Elvis, and so it kind of it checks all the boxes, and our daughter is a big fan of it as well. And so when I first heard that, they're going to make a live adaptation, like most movies, I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. But then, you saw some concept art. You saw a still image, months ago. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't look bad. And I'm actually looking forward to this. And then the trailer drops, which we have on the Hub on Hollywood page. So check out the trailer for Lilo and Stitch, the first one, the first trailer. It looks good. I think it looks really good. And so I'm really excited for this. I think the casting for Lilo, I don't know the actress's name, but
she's so cute.
Very cute. Nani looks really good. David looks really good. I know they're doing something controversial. We'll get into the controversy right now. So, if you remember, Lilo and Stitch, the animated version, there's Jumba and Pleakley. There's Jumba who created Stitch, the evil genius scientist, the mad scientist, and Agent Pleakley, who is accompanying Jumba to capture Stitch. He's the green and one-eyed alien. Well, to blend in Hawaii, because they can't be seen, they go incognito. So Jumba, he's wearing a hat, glasses, sunglasses, and a Hawaiian shirt. Pleakley, he goes with a wig, black hair wig, a woman's hair, a woman's hat, and a dress, and that's their disguise. And people love those characters, and everything they represent. But in this live action one, they're going with something different. Instead of dressing up in disguise, they are using technology to look like humans. So you have Zach Galifianakis, who's playing Jumbo, and at the top of my head, can't recall the actor's name, but he's playing Pleakley. And for a split second in the trailer, you see them in their human form, and then Pleakley, appear in his alien form. So people are upset, saying, we want to see them dressed up in cross-drag. We want to see Pleakley dressed in drag, dressed as a woman. And so people were upset about that. However, again, I don't think it's the biggest realist controversy, but people were saying, in a cartoon, you can dress up aliens with a hat and sunglasses and, play them off and people don't recognize that they're aliens. They think they're humans.
Yeah.
In a live action, it's much harder for like the in-world characters to suspend their disbelief to think like, okay, this 6 foot or 5 foot tall green one-eyed creature is a woman, and this other 4-eyed creature is a man. So I think
we don't judge. We don't judge.
We don't judge. But in the world of the Lilo and Stitch in this context, I understand the reasoning. I would like though to see a scene of them trying to dress up like in like the dress and the wig and the sunglasses, and then just realizing, okay, this isn't going to work. Let's use technology. And so I think they may use that thing. But I think this looks really good. Just like How to Train Your Dragon, that trailer looks really good too.
Yeah.
So I think these are like the only live adaptations I'm actually looking forward to. Yeah.
Do you think that studios now know how to do a live action adaptation? Do you think that they've learned from the mistakes of their past?
No.
No, not yet. Not at all.
I hope these are the exception, but I still do not have faith in most studios.
I think that maybe they might now be beginning to learn that you don't need to change anything or only a little bit. Like people love the original for a reason. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel with the live action. We'll see.
We'll see. I have high hopes for this one. So, Lilo and Stitch, again, that trailer is on the Hub on Hollywood YouTube page. Check it out. Happy Gilmore 2, that trailer is out as well. Go find it and
it's on our
let
Facebook
us know.
page.
It's on our Facebook page. Let us know how bad you think it looks. Comment down below. But what looks good and we're both looking forward to, and what we didn't think we would ever see, but it may be a possibility, is Coyote versus Acme.
The roller coaster of emotion that they are putting exactly.
Yeah.
It's like an episode of the cartoon.
Yeah.
Like we're running after the Roadrunner and then we fall off a cliff and now we're climbing up the cliff. Are they going to push us off again? So what's going on here?
Right now, they're lifting us up. They're giving us hope because the Variety is reporting that a new studio is negotiating a deal with Warner Brothers to obtain the rights for Coyote versus Acme. And if that were to happen through like a $50 million deal, then this could be making its way into theaters in 2026, next year. For those who are not caught up, basically Warner Brothers decided to, despite rave pre-screening reviews of this film, again, this hybrid, kind of like Space Jam with Michael Jordan.
Half live action,
half animated. Despite the internal rave reviews that this movie was getting, Warner Brothers, in order to save money, like for tax purposes, decided to shelve
to write it off, shelve it.
And people were very upset. Will Forte of SNL and MacGruber and a bunch of other stuff, he was starring in it and publicly spoke out against how sad he was to learn that Warner Brothers was going to be shelving this idea, this project. And then a bunch of other actors, they expressed their disappointment. John Cena, I think.
John Cena,
not The Rock. People were disappointed. People were crying
across the board,
and so people were like thinking, just like Batgirl, same thing that happened with Batgirl, which was going to star Brendan Fraser and introduce Batgirl into the DC universe. That movie got shelved. No one will ever see that movie, despite initial good internal reviews and feedback. However, it looks like there's hope for Coyote versus Acme to come out, which is basically the story of Coyote suing Acme for all the terrible products that they make, whether that's rockets that blow up or rocket skates that...
Is that really the plot?
Yeah, that's basically... He's suing Acme because every trap and contraption he bought to capture the Roadrunner blows up almost literally in his face. And so he's suing the company that makes those products for damages.
I love that.
Physical and monetary. And so it's a great plot, very great story. And again, the actors really loved it and were really supportive of it. So fingers crossed.
Okay, so it's
crossed.
A deal of around $50 million, maybe. I was under the impression that they destroyed it. Like they destroyed the footage, like not just shelved it.
It's like in Indiana Jones, like the Ark of the Covenant, in the big warehouse where you just have boxes of like lost treasure. It was going to fall into that abyss.
All right.
But we have a chance. We have hope.
That
we will not be hitting a painted street that leads into a cliffside.
Maybe we can throw a few million in on the deal, sweeten the pot.
Do you have
You've
some?
got that lying
If you have
around?
a couple,
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay.
All right. Jamie, this is an interesting story that we saw. Have you seen the first season of The Last of Us?
Yes.
Starring, of course, our boy, Pedro Pascal.
Pedrito.
Pascalito. By the way,
Pascalito.
but before we get onto this really quick, did you see his, I guess Spike Jonze made a music video starring Pedro Pascal. It was an ad, a 5-minute ad for Apple like AirPods, but like it's 5 minutes of Pedro like dancing and singing and like having and grooving.
Yeah,
have you seen that?
I saw bits and pieces of it. He looks so
He
good.
looks so good. So he looks so good. And The Last of Us is a great show. Video game turned series on Max.
Season 2 coming out.
Season 2 coming out around the corner. Bella Ramsey, she plays Ellie in the show, and she's fantastic in it as well. But she recently was interviewed, and she came out by saying that she was actually diagnosed with autism during the first season of that show, and it was pretty interesting how it came about. There's a crew member who has an autistic daughter, and I guess just kind of hanging out with Bella on the set during that period, during that shoot, she assumed that Bella was also on the spectrum. And I guess she brought that up, and Bella was like, oh, I don't know. She ends up going to a doctor and gets diagnosed, and yeah, I guess she's on the spectrum, and now she's publicly speaking out about it.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic to raise awareness, and it's always I like how it's neurodivergent people can identify other neurodivergent people,
or those in their lives too. Yeah,
we see the signs, but it is cathartic, and I think that she talks about that a little bit as well. Now that I know this about myself, I can be kinder to myself. I know how to help myself better, instead of kind of struggling through the social isolation, the sensory issues, all of these things that other people don't have around you and you don't know why. So I think it's just a wonderful message that she's speaking out about it, because just knowing
it's half the battle.
Is wonderful, and it helps. And it helps other people who might be questioning themselves. Even if you're the only person in your family who gets diagnosed, like, do that for yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people were saying that, like, they're seeing like reports of a spike in people being diagnosed with autism or being on the spectrum, and people theorizing, oh, like, is there something in the water, the vaccines, and all these conspiracy theories?
Now. We just know more.
It's just awareness is going up. Is what I believe. Is awareness is going up, and people are not being so stigmatized for not only wanting to see if they are on the spectrum, but also to be open and talk about it. And the cool thing about Bella's case is that she says it's actually helped her acting. Because she said, growing up, she felt like an outsider. She had sensory issues common with many people on the spectrum, and that, sometimes she would be very hyper aware of people's mannerisms and things about them. And through that, she was better able to like watch people, understand people, and that helped her in turn become a better actor.
By copying
and
masking.
And so I think it's really good that she's talking about it. Again, I think it's just helping break the stigma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we love her. She's a fantastic actress, and we can't wait to see season 2. Actually, I can wait to see season 2. I'm so nervous about what will be in season 2. I don't know. We'll see. But it's such a great show. We love Pedro. We love Bella.
We love them. Speaking about season 2, I'm really hoping for season 2 for Deli Boys.
Yes, back to Deli Boys, yeah.
We're talking about, again, our past 2 episodes. 2 episodes ago, we showed yourself, Jamie, going to the watch party for Deli Boys here in Cambridge or Somerville?
No, it was in South Boston.
Oh, Southie?
No.
East Boston? West End?
No.
North End?
Where's the friggin' obelisk?
That's Charlestown.
Yeah.
Charlestown.
In that area.
Okay.
Like around there.
Okay, so in Charlestown, there was a watch party for Deli Boys, and we were invited by one of the actors. Again, as we mentioned, Shah Jahan Khan. He plays Ali on Deli Boys, and there they showed the first 4 episodes during the watch party, which was packed.
Yeah.
The video and Shah Jahan talked about how so many people turned out for it, and the following episode, our last episode, we have this interview with him talking about not only about his career but about Deli Boys, and at that point I had seen 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. After that interview, I binged the rest. There were 10 episodes in this season, in the first season, and it's really good. It's a he calls it a crimedy, where it's a comedy crime show, basically about 2 pampered Pakistani American brothers. They lose everything when their father, who runs this deli market industry, he suddenly dies, and then they're forced to reckon with Baba's secret life of crime. And it's pretty much them kind of like being fish out of water, them being thrown into the deep end, being exposed to what they had no idea about this crime syndicate that his father was operating in.
Cocaine empire.
And it's so I was telling Shah Jahan that the writing is so good. Mm-hmm. It's so tight. The chemistry between the main 2 actors, Asif Ali and Sagar Shakir. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But the chemistry between those 2 actors, the brothers, is so hilarious. Like, I could just watch them just like going about their day together, and they're so funny.
This show could have been about anything, but like the 2 of them were together, it's great to watch.
And so I'm really hoping for season 2. We're not going to go into any spoilers, but I do want to mention that it is streaming on Hulu at the moment. It is certified fresh. It is so good. So check out that show, support it, because I'm really pushing for and pulling for season 2 of that.
It's been a long time since I've genuinely bark laughed at a show.
I was telling Shah Jahan that I watch a lot of stuff, and it feels like kind of like 30 Rock, where every 30 seconds to a minute, I'm laughing out loud. And my wife, we're on the couch, and I was watching some episodes on my laptop, and she was doing her own work, and I had my headphones in, and she just hears me laughing, and I'm like, oh my, I can't stop laughing out loud. I'm sorry you're working, but but you just can't help it because it's such a fun show with some good twists and turns.
Go watch Deli Boys. Okay, so Deli Boys is a crimedy. And you watched something that appears to be a horror-y or something? That doesn't sound right. A horror comedy or something?
It's a fantasy horror comedy.
Okay, yeah. This is wild. This is wild.
Of a unicorn.
The Leopolds donated this entire nature preserve. And they care about a lot of things, not just pharmaceuticals.
Fine. I will sit there and smile.
Sorry, we're late.
What happened? You walked from the airport or what?
It's perfect timing.
I need you to act like everything is fine.
Is there something in your car?
A lot of species in this area are rare. What exactly are we saying this is, though?
I think we know exactly what it is.
A horse-like mammalia.
With some sort of protrusion or growth.
It's a fucking unicorn.
I don't think I should be in swim shorts for this moment.
Just that title alone Just that name of that movie alone, it sparks intrigue, right?
Right. Yes.
You'd think. Well, what else do you need to intrigue you than the death of a unicorn? But guess what else is there? You have Jenna Ortega, you have Paul Rudd, you have Will Poulter, and Richard E. Grant, Tia Leone. It's a great cast. We just watched the trailer of this, and you were like, when we watched the trailer, you're like, oh, it's an actual unicorn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, in this world, there's an actual unicorn. And so I watched a screening for it not too long ago. The movie's coming out on the Friday, the 28th. So check out, this is my non-spoiler review.
Non-spoiler preview.
Basically, I really enjoyed this movie. But before I continue, I need a prop.
Oh, God.
Hold on. For those, you can describe for our listeners what was going on.
So James is reaching down. He is grabbing something protruding that looks like this is not going well. That is gold and something, and he's putting it on his forehead. And now he has a unicorn horn.
I have a unicorn horn on my head. If you can, for those
where did
watching,
you even buy that?
I did not buy this. I did not buy this. The lovely PR folks who put this screener together at Assembly Row in Somerville.
Okay.
They were passing these out, and they're also passing out bumper stickers. And I'm like, I don't want to be silly and have a bumper sticker on my car, so I got a horn instead that I could wear during this review.
You're not silly at all.
This is not silly at all. But this is actually what the horn kind of looks like. There are different unicorns in this movie, and their horns are kind of different. But this is like the unicorn of the one that Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd hit with their car. They kind of like just start this series of events. But basically, for those who are unfamiliar or have not seen the trailer, I recommend not watching the trailer because there's some things that are kind of like given away in that trailer. So just go watch this movie. I recommend it. But basically, it's a story about a father and daughter, Elliot and Ridley. They hit a unicorn with their car and bring it to the wilderness retreat of a mega wealthy pharmaceutical CEO and his family. This is directed and written by Alex Sharfman. As I mentioned, this stars Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd, Will Poulter, Richard E. Grant, Tia Leone, as well as this one great actor. He is on Barry. Have you seen Barry?
Which Barry? What?
Barry. No, I've seen Barry with Bill Hader, the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So there's an actor, and I'm pulling his name, Anthony Carrigan. Carrigan. There's some notes right here. Anthony Carrigan. He's on Barry, a fantastic actor, and he was a surprise that appeared in this film. But basically, with a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes, this rated R fantasy horror comedy is a fun ride from beginning to end. The action, comedy, and very graphic, gory scenes, they work so well for what kind of movie this is. I thought it was really balanced throughout the whole film. So basically, as I mentioned in the synopsis, Paul Rudd and his daughter, it starts out with them landing, on a plane, and you can tell they have like this kind of strained relationship, and they're both kind of recuperating after some recent trauma. Paul Rudd, he's a lawyer and works for this wealthy CEO pharmaceutical guy who is he was nearing his deathbed, and this guy wants Paul Rudd to pretty much dot the I's, cross the T's on paperwork to make sure his family and his company will be set after he's gone. And he is entrusting Paul Rudd because he really likes him. He thinks he's a family man, and he just wants to spend some more time with him during the weekend, during this wilderness retreat, just so he can confirm to his family, to the CEO, his wife and his son, they know, you can trust this man. He's a good man. And here's his daughter. He loves his daughter. And so Paul and Jenna have to kind of not hide this kind of this kind of turmoil they're going through, this kind of friction they're going through between themselves. But things escalate when they hit a unicorn. They have to hide it. They find out, that they bring the unicorn because they don't want to. I'm not giving away spoilers.
Yeah, this was in the trailer.
This is in the trailer. But basically, they find out that this unicorn, it has magical
properties, say, yeah.
Whether it's blood or its horn, and the pharmaceutical family, they want to, like any mega rich family, they want to exploit it.
Right.
They want to exploit it for their own benefit, and then that's when things ensue because the parents, the papa parents and mama parents of this unicorn, they want revenge.
Of course they do.
Yeah, of course they do. This is a really fun movie.
It looked fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe a movie like this got made just because it's so different and weird and hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know what the writers were on when they
Probably unicorn horn.
I guess. Yeah, maybe they found something, guys. But it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And so you watched it.
I watched it, and like the only thing that, and this is not a knock for it, because unicorns are not real. And so when you see a unicorn on screen,
You sure about that,
Yeah,
James?
you kind of have to, you kind of get past the uncanny valley-ness of seeing unicorns around. But you really, I really got past that really easily. And so other than like some not, and I don't want to say sloppy at all, but that's the first thing that popped in my head, of like CGI, just moments of like kind of like wonky CGI. Just that's the only thing I could say that I didn't enjoy, because overall these things look really good.
Yeah.
They behave really good, like natural and unnatural, and so it all looks good. Again, except for some minor moments of like, oh, it looks a little wonky, but put that behind you. The movie's really fun. It's a good, and it's gory too.
Oh my God.
Very gory, if you're into that.
Okay, Sharknado vibes?
I was never a fan of Sharknado, but yeah, I would say just
Or
as much blood.
Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, I'd say Cocaine Bear. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say gore on the level, if not a little bit more of Cocaine Bear.
I love it. Yeah.
So it's coming out in theaters March 28th. If you're watching this when this episode comes out, this coming Friday.
And you're very confused if you just tuned in right now and you look at James.
I don't know how you just tuned in on a YouTube video, but if you just did, and you came in with me wearing a horn on my unicorn horn on my forehead. Welcome to the Hub on Hollywood. This is what you paid for, which is nothing. Which is zilch.
I'm getting through this by not looking at you. Exactly.
Can I take this off now? I'll take this off.
That's all
If you want
right.
to put it on, you can put it on.
I want to try it.
Try it on. Yeah.
I want to turn.
Oh, here. Yeah, there you go. Go for it. Yeah, it's so the folks over who are promoting who are at the screener, hosting the screener at the local theater, they're passing a bunch of these horns out, bumper stickers also. I think it said like "I break for unicorns" or whatever, and so it's good. That looks good on you.
All right.
That looks good.
My daughter will be so excited.
You want to take it? My wife saw it and she's like, "No more crap in our house." I'm like, it was free. I didn't pay for this. But if you want to take it,
all right.
Excellent.
Yeah, my daughter's gonna love it.
She'll love it.
Desi would love it.
She'll be a cute
my God.
unicorn. Just don't tell her that horn is used to dismember many people.
Okay. I'll leave that part out.
Yeah,
So,
but Death of a Unicorn, starring Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd. Oh yeah, I will say though, and you may have seen if you watched the trailer, Will Poulter, who plays the son of the pharmaceutical CEO, he is a huge highlight of this movie. Like I think he gets the most laughs in this film. His character is hilarious, funny, and just really fun to watch. Also, Anthony Carrigan, who I mentioned, who was on Barry, he plays the butler, an assistant to the family. He is also hilarious in this movie. So there are two standouts for this film. So
all right.
Yeah,
that's great. And nothing stands out more than
a unicorn horn.
Woo! Okay, I have to go see this.
Yeah, go see it. Don't take your kids.
I'm so excited.
Do not take your kids.
I will not take my kids. I won't take my kids. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. I know I took them to one too many zombie movies or something. I promise. I
Excellent.
promise. But one thing that I think I will take them to, Coco 2.
Coco 2. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we skipped Coco 2.
We totally skipped it. Speak about Team Coco. We were on Team Coco.
Yeah.
Multiple teams of Coco because Coco 2. How many times can I say Coco?
Coco.
Yeah, the Disney, I think, is considered a classic now. I love that movie, the story of Miguel and him crossing over into the land of the dead, and then finding, his true family and the meaning of music and love and life and familia and all that stuff, all that jazz. A sequel
Ay, mi amor, mi amor.
is coming out.
Yeah.
So Bob Iger, Disney CEO, he was on a shareholder meeting recently, and he said, "Hey, you like Coco? You like money?
Yeah.
Guess what? Boom, 2. This 2 has dollar signs. It's a dollar sign too for this one. But he said, yeah, we're working on it right now. It'll be coming out hopefully in 2029, I believe. Where are my notes? I can't find it. Where's Coco 2?
Coco 2.
Did you delete it?
So
I'm
it
blaming
could
you.
become,
No.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't blame you. I'm sorry. So it should be coming out in
my fault.
a couple of years. He says, and again, this is such CEO talk to like stakeholders, but he says this film is in the initial stages. They know it will be full of humor, heart, and adventure. Like, of course, it's going to be full of like humor, heart, and adventure. Like, of course,
Disney
you would say
movie,
that.
yeah.
Of course, you would say that.
But you love Coco so much.
I love Coco. Are you down for a Coco too?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's such a perfect movie.
It is. It
that
really is.
I don't know that we need another Coco. Like, who's going to go into the afterlife now?
Does Miguel have a younger sister?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I can't imagine what the story would be. So just like the Toy Stories, like I can't imagine what the next stories would be and how it would have as much heart as the original, because I'm sure Grandma, whatever her name is,
Grandma Coco.
Yeah, Abuela Coco is, on her way out.
Well, she's already died. She died at the end.
Yeah,
she died at the end of.
Gone.
Spoiler alert for this film that came out 6 years ago, if not more. But yeah, Coco, the grandmother, Abuelita, she passed away, and at the very end, she's reunited with her father and her mother. So yeah, maybe Miguel has to go back to the land of the dead and like get a message from Coco, or like get a message to Coco, or Coco has a buried treasure.
Maybe Miguel es un viejo, yeah. And
they make him super old?
I don't know.
No, that's kind of brief. I don't know.
Anyways,
but I do know it will be full of humor, heart, and
adventure. James,
Yes.
would you like to take a trip to the afterworld with Coco? Because
so in the Coco afterworld that is in Disney, in the movie, it looks magical. It looks beautiful. Like everything's neon. It feels like a party, a fiesta. Like I'll be down to visit that land.
Because I was gonna say, like, I could like send you there.
Oh God, no! Get that horn away from me!
Heart
Get
and
that
adventure.
horn away from me.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but let us know. Are you down for Coco too? Coco, Too Fast, Too Furious.
This is how you know we've gotten to like towards the end.
Towards the end of the episode, we're losing our minds. But yeah, this is a great episode. Let us know what your thoughts are on Coco 2. Also, Lilo and Stitch and Happy Gilmore 2. Are you looking forward to?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be funny.
Just as good as Citizen Kane, Jamie says. That's a quote. They're going to put that on the poster.
I just want Adam Sandler on the show.
Yeah. I want Conan O'Brien on the show. I want Conan O'Brien on the show, but he will be back show hosting the Oscars next year after his fantastic performance. Again, we have a new film or a new show series, Widow's Bay, coming out, filming in May in Massachusetts and Maine. Keep an eye out for that. Sydney Sweeney, another movie. A lot of more money. Hopefully, I don't know where they're filming that one. Oh, yeah, they're filming it over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, possibly.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Who knows? I don't know where that movie takes place. What else? Coyote versus Acme. We touched on a lot of stuff here. Deli Boys.
We
Go
talked
watch
about
Deli
a lot.
Boys.
Go watch Deli Boys
Death of a
right now.
Unicorn.
I got to go finish that series right now. So,
Yeah.
and Death of a Unicorn as soon as it comes out, because
What the heck?
WTF
What
is
the heck?
that?
If you've seen it by the time this episode comes out or what have you, comment down below. Leave your own personal review. Thanks again. If you're watching us, hit subscribe, hit like, share us with any of your friends or family who also love movies. Every week we come out with reviews, we come out with trailer teases, we come out with a bunch of stuff, breakdowns, industry news, local New England news.
We love the nerdy stuff.
Love it.
And we bring it to you here. And James, if they've watched us all the way to the end of this episode,
As they should.
I have a treat for them. If that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I think for those watching on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you're listening, go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. You're not going to want to miss this. So what do we, for our listeners, describe what, or do you just want to do it and we'll talk about it?
Well, the thing is, James, do you know who Ditto is?
You know it.
Yeah, so I'm wearing a Ditto sweater.
The Pokemon.
The Pokemon. And Ditto can become any Pokemon, right? That's his deal.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of a Ditto dance?
No. I mean, no.
Wink, wink, wink. Yeah. So for those who have stuck around this long, the Ditto dance.
Ditto dance. Okay.
Ready? My kids love this.
Okay.
I don't even know. I'm so short.
I'm gonna lean back.
Ready?
Okay. We have Jamie.
Ditto?
She's standing up in the back, and she's.
Looks like this.
No. Commit to it. Commit to it. There's a Ditto dance. Yay!
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Mostly for my kids.
Hollywood. Again, like, subscribe, follow. If you are listening to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services, follow and leave a 5-star review. It gives us a lot of morale boost and
more
support.
dances, more Pokemon dances too.
Yeah, if you want to see more dances, subscribe. If you don't, subscribe also.
To make me
how
stop.
the algorithm works. But yeah, this is the Hub on Hollywood. We'll catch you next time. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And Ditto.
And Ditto.
And Unicorn.
Woo!
Bye.